What's going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Chrome, and this is my Mobula 7 HD version. It's got DJI's air unit or air unit light on board, and it is the Mobula 7, which is strange because it is larger than a traditional 7, right, or 75 millimeter quad, coming in at 80 inches millimeter, 80. It is 80 millimeters from motor post to motor post, and I thought, well, why is it a Mobula 7? Wouldn't it really be better if it was actually 85 or slightly larger? So I have this old analog Mobula 8, and I actually killed the ESC. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to transplant this video system here onto this larger frame with bigger motors. Because I think this is where it's at. Now, I really like this drone, the Mobula 7. It's fun, right? It's cool because, right, like compared to this guy, the Beta FPV, I can fly this one on 1S. This one is a 2S quad, and I think that makes it a lot more fun outside. But, you know, if I'm going to fly this thing outside, not inside, why not make it just a little bit bigger? Because I think it's going to be just a little bit more fun. So that's what I'm going to do. First, we're going to transplant the good stuff here to here. And then we're going to get outside and we're going to fly it. Stay tuned. I think this is going to be fun. All right, so first, let's document this whole process going from this one to this one. I don't think it's going to be incredibly difficult. But let's get my stuff set up and power on my camera. Okay, so I got my tools here, and let's go ahead and start breaking these down. So I'm going to take all of the basically center things here and put them in on this guy. All right, start by breaking this one down. I really highly recommend get one of these little magnetic discs if you don't have one, because it's great for holding tiny little screws when you do projects like this. You know, my initial thought was I would swap the motors too, but what? Well, you know what? My goal here is to get more power, so I think that's going to give me more power by keeping the 8 motors on here. So I did kill this ESC. I flew it on I think a 4S battery, which was dumb. Or maybe it was a 3S. I don't remember. I think it was a 4S. I was testing something, not paying attention. I don't know. Foolishness. But this should be pretty seamless in terms of plug and play, right? So I'm going to unplug the batteries, unplug the motors, pull out this flight controller, pop in the new one, and we should be good to go. This camera is good. I'll put that in my stash of cameras, but sadly this is dead. I might use those grommets. All right, now you can see I have, I did cut this tray here and use a rubber band. I'll have to add that back on, but I'm not a big fan of trays because they really limit the size of batteries that you can use, right? You can only use what fits in the tray. And what if I want something that's slightly bigger, slightly smaller? I want to go lighter or want more flight time. I don't like that because it's limiting. So I generally will cut those and use rubber bands or straps because that allows me to have more flexibility on my battery choice. All right, so this should just be pulling this off. Now I will have to check, you know, motors and all that, direction in Betaflight. Unplug my motor. All right, we got her built. Let's throw it on the scale. What does my new 85 millimeter quad weigh? 48 grams. We picked up 10 grams essentially of weight. That is because I have these bigger motors on here. I guess I could if I really wanted to, see how it did with the smaller motors, but 10 grams, 5 millimeters, bigger props, I think I'm gonna like it. I'm going to start by flying this around in my basement, which I don't know is a great idea. I think when you get to this 85 millimeter size, that's kind of like the largest I'd want to do some indoor flying. You know, maybe you're better. Maybe you're a better pilot than I am, and you can rip around in small, tight, confined spaces, but I don't think it's ideal as this drone just a little bit too large and maybe a little bit too heavy as you add that bigger battery. I think it's better suited for outdoor flying. These 1103 motors, they're 10,000 kV, right? That's a change from these 1102 20,000 kV motors. And the larger prop going from 45 millimeters to 52. Again, you're just going to get a little bit more oomph, a little bit more power, a little bit more zip, and it's great for flying outside. Now, is this a final product, a finished deal? No, probably needs a little bit of tuning, but I really like how this thing turned out. It is just so fun to rip around in nice open spaces or around objects. You know, I kind of worry about hitting things inside because they might break, but flying outside, not so much an issue. You hit a tree, I'm certainly not going to break a tree. I'm going to break the drone before that happens, but because this is just light enough, it really can take a beating. So great little drone, fun to fly, great to rip around. If you want something that you can fly outside, this one, so fun, this Mobula 7 convert. When it was just a Mobula 7, still fun. It was basically this size, so I just made it a little bit bigger. I'm gonna keep ripping this one. I gotta fix the camera. I knocked it out of place, but so fun to fly. I do not miss flying analog. These are so nice. Anyway, let me know what you think. Hope this was helpful. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.